I don't know, I wanted to say hi, I guess. I wanted to see how everybody was doing. Not really, I wanted to tell a story though, to be honest with you. It's a really not funny story, but I'm trying to laugh about it, which I guess is why I'm trying to get it off my chest. I just recorded my YouTube video, and having to record a video, I have to look at myself, so I have to find something funny in this situation. So, ever since my mental health has been declining, and I've been struggling with it, there was a time though where it was really, 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 really bad, and like my suicidal tendencies were huge, and my PTSD and like my depression and everything was like drastic. This was right like after COVID hit, so it was like really bad. And then hygiene was definitely hard to do, because when you get into that really depressed stage, you don't see the point of life, so much less the point of washing your behind or brushing your teeth. And I wish I'd have reminded myself to brush my teeth. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it's kind of late now. I can't do nothing about it. I learned my lesson. It is what it is. Not like I can grow these teeth back or whatever. So anyways, so after we had to leave that apartment and we ended up at the motel, my health kept declining even more because everything else that kept happening. So now I'm actually in the need of a wheelchair. So I have a permanent wheelchair that I use. Alright, all these things that I'm saying right now, all the things that I'm just trying to laugh about, to be honest with you, which is why I'm saying them, so that I can laugh at the end. But on July 1st, I was supposed to take my meds, and before I take my meds, I'm supposed to eat a little something, because I did the gastric sleeve, so my stomach is really small, and I digest sometimes quick, sometimes I don't, but always before I go to bed, I try to just put a small snack so I can take my medication, so that it won't cause any problems with my stomach. So this particular night, you know, I partook in my cannabis and my Mary Jane, and I was enjoying it, and I was like, yes, I'm going to sleep beautiful, like I'm going to sleep amazing, my chronic pain is not going to hurt me, my legs ain't going to bother me, I'm going to go to La La Land, and I'm going to be a happy camper, right? Yeah, right, that is so not, but, well, no, it didn't happen, to be honest with you. I was not a happy camper. I did not sleep in beautiful La La Land, but, so I asked my daughter to get me a macadamia nut cookie from Pepper's Farm. They're my favorite. I go to take a bite, and what do I hear? Crack. My front left tooth has now been cracked. Like, it now has a crack. So I start bawling my eyes out. And I start crying, like, really crying. And I'm mourning this tooth because I know it's about to fall, and now my insecurities and my doubts are going to get 10 times worse. And my body dysmorphia, that is already a really weird type of body dysmorphia, is going to be like 10 times, even triple the, the problem. So I'm crying, and then my daughter's like, my oldest is like trying to console me, because she's the only one that knows what's going on. The other two are in their bed, just, laying there, and I'm sitting over here just crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do my content? How am I going to talk on my platforms? How am I going to smile? Like, how am I going to smile? In order for y'all to really understand this, I already have a problem with myself and how I look, because I look like the woman, which is the person that birthed me. If you've heard me before, which I've only been in here like 3 times, you'll know that when I say the woman or the egg donor, it's the person that birthed me. I will not give her the other name. She's the main reason why I struggle with the way that I struggle with life. But, so, I already feel like when I look in the mirror, I see that person. Or if I'm sitting down, all of a sudden, I'll have a PTSD flashback, and I'll think that I'm her. And I have to, like, look in the mirror and do a double take and be like, no, it's you, sweetie. Relax. She's nowhere near you. You're okay. You're safe. You have not turned into her. There's no way you're going to be her. Like, you've learned from her, and you've learned to be the opposite of who she is and do the opposite of what she's done, especially as a parent. And then I bring myself back to reality and whatever. So on July 1st, in the middle of the night, I wake up choking. And I had cracked this tooth probably like 5 or 6 days before the first. But I wake up choking. I have like all these boogers clogging my nose, and next thing I know, it's my tooth. I almost choked on this darn tooth. Thank God my nose was so clogged and it was running so bad out of my face that I didn't realize the tooth was there. So I was like already choking because of all of that mucus and stuff, which was actually clear. It was like the weirdest thing, because it hasn't happened since. So I guess I must have had I don't know what happened, but I just know it was just running down like a river off my face, and I'm like, what the fudge? Next thing you know, I'm moving things in my mouth because I was coughing at the same time, and then it was the tooth, and I'm like, oh no. This is not happening to me. I was like, this is not happening to me. I was supposed to try to make it to the walk-in clinic tomorrow to see if there was a way to try to salvage it. But yeah, there's no salvaging nothing now. Now I got a gap in the front of my mouth. So I had to do what we call a skills lab. I'm already a certified life coach, but I'm also taking an intensive health and life coach certification, and we do what we call skills lab, which we coach each other and we work, on coaching each other and becoming better. I had one scheduled for that day, and I was just like, this is the first time this person is gonna see me, because it's the first time we're doing a skills lab together, and I'm gonna be platypus, I forgot the word, snackopus, whatever the one is that's missing that darn tooth, okay? Snackopus, platypus, whatever it is, okay? I ain't trying to be out here looking like no darn seagull with them 2 fangs. I'm just missing one. like, yo, I was just like, nah, man, this person is gonna be like, what have I signed up to? What have I signed up for? Like, who am I working with today? Like, she is missing a whole snagglepuss in front of her. Like, I was just like, oh my God, I can't do this. I was like, I need to cancel. But then I was like, nah, I gotta do this. Because you know what? I'm a YouTuber. I'm a podcaster. I'm gonna have to talk. So I have to get accustomed to talking, missing one darn tooth. And it's not easy, because sometimes I feel like and I hate that sound, or like your tooth gets in the way, or my lip gets caught. I mean, talking without a tooth, somebody should have told me that it was gonna be more complicated. Like, it ain't just you lose a tooth and that's it. Like, I have to pre-program my whole mouth all over again now. Like, what the fudge? So, I mean, I'm trying to laugh about it, because I'm trying not to let it, get the best of me, and I'm trying not to be like, whoa, can't smile now, which I told myself I'm forbidden from smiling, right? Yeah, right. That's still how, as you can tell now, I'm not following the guidelines. So I'm just showing the snuggle, but it's like, I'm just like, oh my God, what else can definitely decide to just want to rock my boat and give me a curveball? Like, why is it that every time I'm already struggling mentally, I get a curveball thrown at me? And it's like, really? Like, it ain't bad enough that life isn't hard enough? I mean, I'm already raising 2 high-functioning autistic kids who also have mental health. And then I just found out that, because I've always known my daughter is suicidal. That's how we figured out she has stuff going on. I'm suicidal and homicidal. She's also homicidal. But then my son was doing his therapy session for the first time in like 2 years. I finally got him in therapy, because he's been showing a lot of aggression, and I'm not here for it. I'm not for it. Like, I'm not for it. I'm not for the aggression. Like, you're not gonna think you're gonna overpower me because I'm in a wheelchair. And nah, when it comes down to it, if I got a parent, I'm a parent. But at the end of the day, I'm your parent. Like, and I never want him to think that he's got that power over me because of my disabilities. So I put him in therapy. Plus, I found out his sperm donor and my egg donor had the audacity to tell my son at the age of 9 that if he ever accepted himself with his disabilities, that he was a mistake and should be dead. Now, I did not find that out till just recently. We've been away from them for 3.5 years with no contact. They don't know where we are. And I mean, me doing all these platforms, I always have the fear in the back of my mind. Oh man, they gonna find me. They gonna find me. They gonna find me. And I'm gonna have to protect my kids at all costs again, because they have a bad way of being mentally bad for us. So I found out though that he's also suicidal. Now, I would have never known that was I not sitting next to him when he was doing his therapy session. I was half paying attention and half not, because I like to keep, give them their privacy, but I knew it was the first appointment, so there's questions that have to be answered that he may not know the answer to. So I have to, answer them. So I was half in and half out because I like to give them their privacy. I respect my children. I've said this on my platform before, as little people, not as children. They're old souls in a small body. Their body and their minds and the rest of their mind and like social skills and all that. All that's doing is growing. The child is growing into it, so they're developing it. But technically, to me, they're adults in little bodies. They know exactly what they want. Sometimes they just need help expressing it, but it doesn't mean that they don't have a right to vocalize as well, and to be an active member of the actual family. Have an actual say, not just be like, well, you're a child, shut up and go to the corner. You do what I do and that's it. No, I'm sorry. That's not how you gain respect. That's not how you gain love. That's not how you gain productive members of the family. Like, how are they going to feel like they're productive members of the family if you're treating them like a dog? That's what you tell a dog to do. Go sit in a corner. You don't tell your kids to do that. You tell a dog to go do that. But anyways, neither here nor there. So if I wasn't paying attention, that's just my personal opinion. If I don't like it, I'm sorry. But again, I was raised a certain way, and I'm being the complete opposite of what I was raised. And I have the most amazing relationship with my kids. And I think that's proof enough. Plus, the fact that they're high functioning and can really articulate and do so much because of what I've raised them and, what I've done. Like, yeah, whatever. My opinion to me is valid because I got my points and I got my proof. So whatever. But anyways, if I wasn't listening, I wouldn't have known, you know what I'm saying, that he's also suicidal. Like, I would have never known had I not been that parent that doesn't just go, well, I have all this stuff to do, I'm going to focus on this, and I'll listen every once in a while. No, I kept my motherly instincts already know certain keywords that if it hears, it's going to zone in on. You know what I'm saying? It already has a radar. So yeah, I was working on the stuff for my platform, and I was working on my coaching coursework, and I heard that, and I stopped everything, and I just looked at him, and I got really angry, but not at him. I got more angry at myself for not noticing. I got more angry at myself for not realizing that it's not 2 of us that's suicidal, it's 3. How did I miss my sons? How is like so intriguing to me, because it's there. I can kind of see it now that I know, like, my eyes, like the veil was lifted off my eyes, and now I'm like, damn, well, thank God he never succeeded, because he told me the times when he attempted to run away were basically because he wanted to try to run away so he can get hit by a car, starve to death, or be murdered by somebody because he was out on the streets. And I've always tried to explain to him, without knowing that this is what his thoughts and ideas were, how dangerous it is out there. Like, people get raped, people get hurt. Like, no matter what you do in this life, you don't deserve that type of ending. Point blank, period. So, and I used to always tell him that you have to realize you cannot trust everybody. You have to be really careful who you trust. You know what I'm saying? Because my kids, because of their disabilities, I have to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they tend to be a little trustworthy when they shouldn't be. And I have to train them and teach them how to be very cautious of their surroundings. But if I would have never put him in therapy because I didn't want to cause any harm mentally to him any more than what had already been, he was already holding on to what the egg donor and the sperm donor said to him. Like, how can the woman tell their own grandchild, if you accept your disabilities and who you are, you're a mistake, you're better off dead? First of all, she had her own stuff going on that she never wanted to acknowledge or get assistance for. But if I was to have to sit down and give my personal opinion, I believe that the woman is bipolar. It has a couple of other things going on. I mean, I know depression may be one of them, and anxiety. But, like, and then how could your own father, how could a father, a dad, whatever you want to call it, I call it sperm donor, I'm sorry, he doesn't deserve the title, tell his own child, if you accept your disabilities or your conditions, that you're a mistake? Like, and you're better off dead. Like, they told him exactly the same thing. So my poor son at the age of 9, when we left the state of Connecticut, was holding on to that. He was holding on to that. And then I never told him we were leaving for our own safety because I used to question him and try to get information out of him pertaining like myself and the kids, but not in a good way to try to use it against us. They were really like narcissists, like oh my god. But anyways, so I knew this, so we just uprooted him one night and was just like, we're leaving and we're never coming back. Like, and we were on the road when we said it, so he didn't really have a chance to accept it, embrace it, welcome it, become one with it, or anything. And I never gave no other explanation to him, only because he didn't ask again. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, he didn't mention anything. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, he didn't like bring any, like there weren't any behaviors that seemed like it was coming from it or anything like that. I took all those behaviors that he was showing as he was just having a hard time adjusting. Plus the school was completely different. The classroom was different than what he was accustomed to. But come to find out the other day that he thought he was the reason why we had to flee the state of Connecticut. He thought he was the reason why we had to bounce. And this whole time I thought I was protecting my son. I really thought I was protecting my son and keeping, you know what I'm saying, certain things away from him so that he wouldn't have to feel the pain that the rest of us were feeling. And it came to find out I was actually doing harm. I was kind of co-signing what he already thought in his head. So he thought because those two people told him that, and because he was doing, you know, good, and he was finally okay with himself and his skin to a certain extent without it being noticeable to them, that I had to uproot everybody because of him. You know what I'm saying? And he was angry with himself and he was hurt. So I had to apologize deeply to him when I found that out, and I really had to break down to him the complete, which I don't like talking bad about other people to my kids. So like, for example, I may not have a good relationship with their donors. I may not have no contact with their donors, but I will not speak ill about their donors in front of them or to them, because at the end of the day, that's still their donor. They may have not done their job, but that's still their donor. And the part of me that my grandparents installed about respect just won't allow me to do that. To me, that's just a line that's being crossed. And from parent to parent, I wouldn't want for it to be done to me. So I'm not going to do it to the other parent. Even though it's been done to me. It's been done to me over and over and over and over and over. I still won't do it to the other person. Because also, at the end of the day, I still have to deal with the backlash. I have to be the one to console my child. I have to be the one, so I'm going to be the one to break their heart and console them. How does that work? How is there going to be any trust? How is there going to be any love? How is there going to be any loyalty if I'm harming them and then consoling them? Like, what the fudge? That don't work. That don't make no sense. I'm making it so inconsistent and no stability for them. So I don't speak ill about it, but because he had all this hurt and all this pain, and he bawled his eyes out, and I hadn't seen my son cry like that in a really long time, I had to open up and I had to speak. I still kept it as respectful as I could without putting my personal feelings into it. I just gave out facts, dates, times. I'm a fact person. I am a fact person. Like, I will come out with dates, time, what you were wearing, where you were standing, what we was doing. I will bring you down the whole entire thing. Tell me you don't remember. Have the audacity to tell me you don't remember. Have the audacity to tell me it wasn't you. Or have the audacity to tell me it ain't happened. Oh nah, my memory gonna pull out that memory bank and it's gonna give you the time stamp, the day of the week, what the weather was like. I'm telling you, I will pull out all stops, because I am not about to argue. If I know something is a fact, I'm about to tell you it's a fact. And then half of the time people remember, because I really bring in so many details. They be like, oh, I remember. Yeah, you better remember now. I knew what the hell you ate too. Probably knew what the hell your breath smelled like. But I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of person I am. So I had to break it down to my son. After I broke it down to him, he understood, and his behavior has been extremely a lot better. Like he's been more open about talking. He's actually been trying to interact instead of being closed off. So I had to put the therapy because I couldn't let him struggle on his own. I mean, it's already hard enough being a mental health person out here, and then having high functioning autism, which already, you know what I'm saying, there's certain things that they don't have cues on. So I'm trying to make sure I give him all the tools in the world, because like I tell him, I'm not always going to be around. There's going to be times you're going to have to do things on your own. And I don't want nobody to feel like they can pull one on him. But I want him to know that he is his own advocate. And he has to stand up for himself. Yeah, mommy's right here, and I'll hold your hand. You know what I'm saying? And if I gotta step in, I'll step in, but then I'll step back out again, because you have to learn to be your own advocate. You have to learn to speak for yourself. You have to learn to stand up for yourself. You have to learn to know that you matter, that you're worth it, that you are somebody special. You know what I'm saying? You just don't see the world the way the rest of us do. And you function in this world different than the rest of us do. That's the only difference. But that don't make you a mistake. That don't make me regret you, like, ever. I've always installed that in my kids, and that's the opposite was installed in me. Like, the complete opposite was installed in me. So I do the opposite with my children. Like, yeah, complete opposite. But all of that, I know I have to, like, record and put up on my platforms and stuff, but thinking about this tooth that I'm missing, and watching myself in the video right now, it's like, yo, I look weird. I look weird, y'all. I look weird. I mean, I know I'm gonna get used to it. I am who I am. My confidence comes from inside. My worth comes from inside. I personally, frankly, pardon my French, don't give a rat's behind, and I didn't even say it in French, but whatever, anybody else's opinions or thoughts. Nobody feeds me, clothes me, or puts a roof over my head with their income, their time, or their sweat. I do it all on my own. So the only thought and opinion that matters is mine. And as long as I'm okay with living in my skin, that's all that matters. I just gotta be okay with looking at myself. Which is completely different than living in my own skin, y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can live in my skin all day, every day. But then the moment I gotta look in that mirror, that's a whole nother story. That is a whole nother story, man. That's gonna be like, wait, what's going on over there? What happened over there? I was over here like, man, I wish I could have glued the tooth back on. Put some Gorilla Glue on that sucker like the girl did on her head. Maybe the tooth would stay. Ooh, and I could pass for having my teeth perfectly fine. Man, I probably would have been nutso enough to try that. I probably would have. I'd have been over here on some, can I get some Gorilla Glue, please? I got my own dental surgery I need to perform. Oh my gosh. And then Beba is trying to be so supportive about it. Like, she really is. She's trying to be very supportive. She's like, Mommy, you know that I look at people to their mouth when they talk, but I know you're self-conscious right now because of your tooth. So what do? I don't want to make you self-conscious because I don't like it, but I'm used to looking at everybody's mouth. But I know because of her autism and her disabilities, that's her way of making sure that she's understanding what the person is saying to her. So she doesn't only just go by what she's verbally hearing. She also goes by the movements of their lips and their, you know what I'm saying, to see what they're saying so she can actually understand it. So I know this, so obviously I'm not going to be self-conscious with my children. Like, they're my children. You know what I'm saying? They're my babies. They're my world. They're my life. Like, I'm not, if I can't be transparent with them, then who the hell can I be transparent with? You know, there's no way I'm going to hide any parts of me because I don't ever want them to feel, because of their autism, when I've tried to protect them or, like, cover some stuff up, they take it as I'm closing myself off from them. And they'll tell me, Mommy, something doesn't seem right. What's off? What's wrong? Something's not right, Mommy. Like, something's not right. And then I realize, okay, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then they'll be like, probably that's what it is. And they'll come back a couple of days later and they'll tell me, I think that's what it was because I don't feel it anymore. So, like, my kids are very intuitive, you know, and I can't play them for dumb because they're far from it. And I would never do that. Like, that's just totally disrespectful. But yeah, so I told her, I was like, don't worry about it. I was like, wouldn't take it as any sign of, you know, of you trying to be funny or anything like that. You can do what you do. Don't worry about it. She was like, okay. I was just worried because I didn't want you to feel worse. And I'm like, I got this, baby girl. Like, trust me, I got this. I got this. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm pretty. I may have, like, my little other stuff going on in my head thanks to what was installed in me and programmed by the person, by the woman. But, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm pretty, and I know even though with one tooth missing, if I give you that smile that everybody freaking loves but me, because I really never really liked my smile, I know you still gonna like it. Tooth missing and all. You just gonna say it gives me character. Wishful thinking, right? That's how positive of myself I am right now. But, yeah, so I just had to, let it be known to my daughter, like, don't worry about it. We got this. I'm gonna go through my mental stuff. Like, everybody goes through it, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going through it in my wheelchair. Like, I'm still not 100%. And, hello, I got a wheelchair, type of, mentality, I guess you could say. I'm still like, darn it, I need to go to XYZ store. Can't even get the rental if I wanted to. That store don't have a scooter, so I can't walk around it. Can't go, because I can't take the wheelchair with me. I mean, I run into a lot of obstacles. Like, for example, my son dropped his phone in the mop it. In the bucket, the mop water. And it has water damage now, so I had to put in a claim to try to get him a new phone. Now, mind you, he's kind of struggling here. He's using my work phone right now, but only because nobody really calls the work phone. We have a shop where we do press-on nails, and that's what the number goes to, that shop, which is called Shopnormees, if you guys want to look at it. SHOPNORMEES.store, and it's got planner stickers on there as well. But anyways, this is not a commercial. So I had to put the claim in, and I put mine from my phone because I've been having a problem with mine. I can't use my phone regular. I have to use it on speaker. It won't function unless it's on speaker. And then if people call from an Android phone, usually, sometimes, well, the majority, like 90% of the time, I get these text messages, why are you not answering your phone? Why is it going straight to voicemail? It's not even ringing. And it's normally from the Android users. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even have a missed call. Like, my phone has not rung not once on this end. Like, you're going to stop coming from my head. And if I don't want to talk to you, I'll tell you I don't want to talk to you. Like, I got no problem with being transparent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ignore people's calls. If I don't feel like talking, I will literally let your call ring, hit that custom button, and text. I ain't talking. Have a nice day. Holla at you later. Or not in the mood. Or today ain't a good day. Or what the hell do you want? And that lets them know it ain't no phone day. If you want to holler at me through text. And if I respond back, we good. If I don't respond back, don't holler me, leave me alone. Because that means I'm not a social person on that day and just don't want to be bothered. And I have enough going on in my own mind, and I ain't got time for nobody else's BS. So, yeah, so I put in my claim from my phone, and we, at the motel that we stay at, we've had problems with our packages and our mail not arriving to us. For example, Beva's birthday last year, so Beva's birthday is coming up on the 19th of this month. So last year, my lovely cousin, Jazz, had picked up a gift card from the woman, and she also was sending her a gift card. They were both for Amazon, and those were supposed to be her birthday gifts, but it was coming in a birthday card. It never arrived. We never, ever received those. And I remember talking to her, like, are you sure? And then I just never brought it up to the front office, because I'm not one to really want to cause problems or anything like that. Like, I don't advocate for certain things because I know I can get drastically triggered, and I know me. And especially when it comes to my kids, I'm very passionate. Very, very, very strongly passionate. Like, I put all I got in it, and when I talk, it comes out. And I don't be meaning to be harsh to people or feel like people need to be threatened by me. So, like, I try to avoid putting myself in certain situations to avoid, those ugly outcomes. I don't try to do anything, in other words, to put myself in a psych ward or behind bars. Let's just put it like that. Because I still have to raise these 3 children. They don't have anybody else but me. And, so I was giving them the P.O. box. We have a P.O. box that is to the shop. but it's, you know, personal and business. So I was giving them the P.O. box address so the phone can be shipped to the P.O. box, so I can have the peace of mind of knowing that, you know what I'm saying, these phones are safe. Once we get to the P.O. box, we're going to be able to pick him up. He's going to have his phone again and leave me alone and stop stressing me. And then I'm going to have a working phone where people can actually say that their calls are going through. And they accepted my claim to the P.O. box, but when it came to my son's claim, because I had to do 2 separate claims, one for each phone, when it came to my son's claim, they denied the P.O. box address. And they were like, well, we cannot send you your phone. And mind you, I'm really sensitive, really, really, really sensitive to this wheelchair situation. And really sensitive whenever I feel like I'm being discriminated. But this time, I felt like I was being discriminated because I don't have a home. So I sat there and I go to Assurance, or whatever the hell the wireless people are, the insurance company, and I was like, excuse me, but your policy discriminates against myself and my family. You're telling me that you're not allowed to send any phones to a business or a P.O. box. I don't have a home. I reside in a business, which is a motel. And I cannot afford to get the phone here and it not arrive, because then that's a waste. And then you guys are also telling me that I pay monthly for you guys and I cannot get replacement to my phone because I don't have a residence. I was like, I don't have anybody down here, so I cannot use somebody else's address. Like, so right now, I really was fighting my tears because this is the second, or no, actually third time that's happened something to me similar. And I tell the companies the same exact things. Not everybody has the luxury of having an address. Unfortunately. I mean, it's reality, it's life. It should never be that way. Everybody should have a home, an apartment, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, not all of us have the luxury of having that. You know, COVID hit hard and I'm still trying to get on my feet. I'm really struggling here. We're barely making it at all, like in any shape, way, or form. So how would you like me to have an address for you? How? I can't just make up a home that I don't have. And I said, and again, your policy, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to, and I really apologized to the dude, and I was like, I'm not trying to come at you, and I don't want you to feel like I am, because I know when I articulate myself, I have a habit of transforming that anger or that frustration in my voice and make the person feel like it's their fault personally. And I did not want that representative to feel that way. But I'm sorry, this is how I feel, and I know it's going to come out this way because I'm such an empath. I also portray what I feel, like I push it on other people, and I make them feel bad, and I don't like doing that. But I knew that I had to get out what I had to get out, because I'm sorry, I'm being discriminated against since I don't have an address. How are we resolving this problem? Like, point blank period. How are we resolving this problem? It happened to me with FedEx. It happened to me with AT&T. And it happened to me with, was it Amazon? Or was it Walmart? Probably Walmart. I don't think it was Amazon. No, Amazon started acting up afterwards. Yeah, I go through act up stories. It ain't even crazy. But, in the long run, I believe they're trying to send it here to the motel, because he asked me for the address of the motel. And if that is the case, and I don't get my phone, I'm going to be highly upset, and I don't know what I'm going to do, because I'm trying not to be that hot-headed, angry, bipolar, PTSD, all over the place person. I'm trying to be a productive member of my society. Forget y'all society, of my society. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure that whatever I do, I'm always articulating myself, advocating for myself in the correct format. Because if not, there goes the stigma. See, ain't she acting like she crazy? Damn, she crazy. Oh my gosh, she done lost her mind. If y'all know, I'm certified crazy. I got it on papers. Like, I'm certified crazy. I got it on papers. It's written down. I'm just waiting for SSI to give me my payments. But I'm certified, paper and all, crazy. And I don't have a problem with the term crazy. If I'm offending anybody with it, I do non-apologetically apologize, but I have come to terms with it. I find it to be funny, as a joke, as hilarious, as, something crazy cool, crazy funny. I don't look at it as derogatory, as insane, as nutso. I don't look at it as nothing like that. The words have the power that you allow it to have. Words have the power that you give it. How you define it and how you look at it, that's how bad them words are gonna hurt you. That's how bad them words are gonna affect you. That's how bad them words are gonna rock you. Like, I have a cousin, an older cousin, so usually I would call him my uncle because he's older. But I really don't have no contact with my family, so that respect level is not there like it used to be. But I have an older cousin, and his actual birth name is Gay. Gay. That's his actual birth name. We're fully Puerto Rican. My kids are not. My kids are mixed. But I'm fully Puerto Rican. My whole bloodline is, pretty much almost fully Puerto Rican. He was born and raised in Puerto Rico, but because gay means happy, and his parents were ecstatic and happy to have him back in that century, gay didn't mean what it means today. It meant happiness. It meant love. It did not mean derogatory sayings and thoughts that people attach to it today. That's always been his name. Gay, at one point I thought it was his nickname, and I really was like, why do we call him that, mommy? Like, why would we call him that if everybody looks at it like... And then I was explained, no, that's his name, and because it means happy, and that's the real, true, original definition of gay, was happy. That's why his parents named him that. And I'm like, oh, I always just thought, like, you guys, because he was married with kids. So I'm like, I was, a couple of years older than his kids. I was like, I always thought you guys, it was a joke, like an internal family joke or something like that I just didn't know nothing about. But no, it was because, he brought joy and excitement to his family. And that's why he was named that. So again, the power, and he never allowed, it to bother that was his name or influence him when definition of that word started to change. It never bothered him. It never played a part in who he was. He was so confident in himself that he didn't give that word the power to mean anything less than what it always meant to him. So I just want to say that, like, don't let powers have words that they don't need to have, much less in your head, in your mind, and anywhere. Don't give it that, because when you do, you give into so much negativity that you don't need, and you're making yourself a little bit weaker. And it's a weaker that other people can see and they can feed on. And unfortunately, a lot of people out here in this world are like vampires. They will suck it out of you. They will drain you. They will drain the daylight out of you, especially when they know you're weak. When they know you're weak and they can actually do it, oh, they're ready to pounce on you and get it done. So with all this being said, thank you guys for listening, because I feel a lot better about my tooth now. I'm talking a little more comfortable. I don't feel like my teeth are tripping me up like they were. So I really appreciate all 24 of y'all listening. Y'all got me not wanting to go to this training. Y'all got me wanting to talk to y'all more than go to this darn training. But I gotta go to this. Well, actually, I got like 5 minutes. It's virtual. I can stay a little bit longer. I mean, I could always mute them and start them. I think I'm gonna do that and just give y'all